Hi, very good evening, everyone. Welcome for our Prosperous Platforms walkthrough. My name is Ernest, the Director of Client Success. Together with me tonight, I have Andre, our Wealth Wingman. So tonight we'll cover three main topics. Firstly, how do you open an account with Prosperous? What's the difference between our different investment platforms like Build and Boost? And last but not least, to even find out what are the key functions and features that we do offer at this current moment. Okay, so what's Prosperous? Prosperous is a new full-fledged digital service created by millennials for millennials. Basically, we offer over 8 asset classes across 35 exchanges and up to 30,000 instruments. So you know what? If you want to learn more about it, do scan the QR code on the bottom and then visit the websites and get information on market updates as well on any new promotions. So a brief background about both myself and Andre. I'm the Director of Client Success. I joined CGS in 2019, first official member of the team, built this platform from scratch together with Andre, who is the second member. I'm also currently the head of digital business. Andre is our wealth wingman. He runs the sales pieces. His main job is to engage with clients, get the sales in, and also to show you guys what the investment service is all about, digitally or even sometimes meeting you guys face to face. So without further ado, I'll hand over the time to Andre to share with you how you can start the investment journey with us.
Thank you very much, Ernest. All right, let me first take you through the onboarding process. So there are a couple of ways you can actually sign up for an account with us. It is via SingPass, where you have your information stored in MyInfo, or you can actually manually input that data as well. Okay, so this is our Prosperous website. To sign up for the account, you can simply click on the Sign Up Now button on the top right-hand side here in orange. So once you actually click on that button, you will come to a landing page here where you can actually get started. So as I mentioned, the two different methods which you can actually sign up are via MyInfo for SingPass holders, or if you do not have MyInfo, you can actually manually input your information by clicking on the below. Okay, so once you actually click on the SingPass option, you can see here, you can scan your QR code and then input your information, and of course you need to accept, there'll be disclaimers and whatnot that you need to accept in the process of signing up. Alternatively, if you actually choose the manual input option, you would have to go through filling all of the details, as you can see, where the fields are required. So upon completion of, inputting all your details, you will be prompted to create a user ID. So this user ID would be unique to yourself when you actually log into the platform.
Hey Andre, so what's the difference between registering the account via SingPass MyInfo and manually inputting the data for the online registration?
Good question, Ernest. So I think really the difference between the two would just be the time taken to open the account. So if you're actually signing up via MyInfo, I mean, of course, most of your data is already pre-stored in there. So it could take, up to maybe 10 minutes for you to actually finish the registration process. Whereas if you're manually inputting data via the manual input, you would have to, of course, key in all your information, as well as take a photo of your proof of identity and proof of residency. So the process for the manual input could take, up to 20 minutes, of course.
Okay, I have another second question. So generally, how long do you take to get my account approved?
Another good question, Ernest. I guess it would be ready the next business day. However, if your account is not ready by then, you could always drop us an email at contact us at prosperus.asia to find out on the status of your account opening.
Great, thank you.
Next, I'll bring you through the portal where you can actually digitally fund your account and withdraw your account at the same time. So currently, there are a few different kind of payment methods that we allow. Fund via PayNow QR code. That is currently the instant funding method. You can do it via fast and telegraphic transfers for foreign currencies. Okay, so upon logging in the portal, this is what it's going to look like. So on the top right-hand side, you can see this I button here. So you can actually go through the different steps, it's basically they're basically coach marks guiding you on the different functionalities of the portal. So I'll be skipping all that. You can look at that at your own time. But really what I want to be showing you is how you can actually fund your account so you can get started on your investment journey with us. So by clicking on your manage funds, it will bring you to another page where you can actually deposit or withdraw funds. So this would be our digital funding. So if you click on deposit, you can select the currency that you wish to deposit and the different methods that are available. So as I mentioned previously, QR code is the fastest way to actually fund your account. It is almost instantaneous. So if you are looking to get started immediately, this would be the best way to actually fund the account for the first time at least. All right. If you do select a different currency, it would prompt you to fund it via telegraphic transfer. So upon depositing into your account, you will definitely receive a notification, and this will also be shown in My Actions for any pending actions in the account. So to withdraw funds from the account, it's very simply, once you click here, you will of course have to add a bank account that will be approved by our team before we actually release the funds from the account into your personal account. Next up, if you do have any more questions, you can actually go to our FAQ here and the different tabs available for more information on the navigation of our platform. And of course, if there's any information that you cannot find here, please feel free to submit an inquiry under Contact Us, and our respective teams will actually get back to you on your queries. Last but not least, step 3, we will actually be bringing you through the Build and Boost platforms and showcasing to you the different product suites as well as the platform features for you to understand our platform a bit better. So upon signing up of the account, you will have access to both the Build and Boost platforms. Just to highlight to you some of the two major differences between the Build and Boost platforms. So the Build platforms are leaning more towards longer term investors. It has a simplified and clean view. All right. The current product offering for Build would be equities, bonds, ETFs, and mutual funds, also known as cash trading products. On to Boost though, it is flexible in the sense that it is for long and short-term investors. So for short-term investors who wish to actually chart and use technical analysis, that is available on this platform. So in that sense, it's a bit more sophisticated, has a more sophisticated view as well. So in terms of the product offerings, you do have your cash products like equity, bonds, ETFs, and funds. And on top of that, the leverage products like FX, CFDs, futures, and long options. Okay, so when you first launch your Boost platform, this is what you'll pretty much see. Okay, so just a couple of things to take note. So at the top, you'll be able to see the trading tab. So this is where all the action happens. You have your research. This is normally pre-trading. So when you look at news and information, on your stocks, or if you're doing FX, you have you have a financial calendar that you can actually refer to. Last but not least, account here is normally post-trading. So this is where you can actually retrieve most of your statements post-trading. So I do want to bring your attention to the settings of the account. So on the top right-hand side here, you can see these 3 lines. That's actually the menu. So if you click on the menu and go to settings, all right, you can see the trading products that are available on this platform. So as you can see here, there are a lot of a lot of products here. There's cash as well as your margin trading products. So for this demo, I will select all of them. So as we actually search through the different products, you'll be able to see these different asset classes actually pop up as well. Okay, so then onto the left-hand side of the module on the platform here, you can see watch list. So you can actually click on this drop down here to create a new watch list. So once you actually select on new watch list, it will be a blank page, and you can then continue to add instruments into your watch list. So I have already pre-created one here, so I'm just going to continue to add some instruments into this. So for example, if you're looking for HSBC, you can type that in. As you can see, the plethora of product suites we have available here. Just typing in HSBC shows you the depth of instruments that we have available on our platform. Okay, so just to highlight, you can see these little pluses here at the side. You can expand and collapse the search results. Cases of this happening is if the stock actually has multiple listings. So as you can see there, HSBC is also listed on the New York Stock Exchange as well as the Hong Kong Exchange. So under the CFD here, you can also expand that to see that the CFD is tradable also on the New York Stock Exchange as the Hong Kong Exchange, counter for HSBC as well. So do be careful when you're actually selecting the product that you're adding to your instrument, because the price can vary quite substantially between the different listings as well. So if you're looking at CFDs listed on the US Stock Exchange, you can then select this particular HSBC instrument. So once you're actually happy with your watch list, this is pretty much what it's going to look like. What you will then need to do is know how to actually launch your trade ticket. So you can simply click on any of these boxes here to launch the trade ticket, or simply right-click on the instrument and select New Trade. So upon doing so, you would see a trade ticket appear somewhat in the middle of your screen. So you can then go on to select the different options available to you here. So first up, you can see type. You can select between the different order types you have available here. So you can go market limit. What I will be showing you is how to actually place a pre-market order by selecting algo. You can then go to strategy and select a pre-market limit order here. So do take note that we only offer pre-market limit orders for US markets. So this is one of the unique factors on our platform that you can actually hear. All right. So by selecting pre-market limit, do take note that you won't be able to actually amend the duration. You would actually have to go back to a limit order to actually then change the duration. So to change the duration, you can simply click on that option there and select anything that suits your liking. You can even customize to select a specific date that you wish. All right. Another feature here would be this little calculator button here. So instead of inputting your typical number of shares, which people usually do, let's just say 10, for example, all right, you can actually key in the notional amount which you actually are looking to invest. So for example, if you have 500, if you want to purchase $500 worth of the stock, the platform actually calculates for you the number of shares. Okay, then you can simply apply and it will change accordingly. Right? So once you're happy with all that, you can see at the bottom the cost for you to actually purchase this stock is $5. So it doesn't matter how many shares you actually purchase, you can still see that the commissions here is still a flat $5. Next line would show you the notional amount, which is simply the share price multiplied by the number of shares. And last but not least would be the cash available in your account for you to actually purchase. So our platform is a cash upfront trading platform. So you will actually have to deposit the amount before you can actually invest. All right, so there's no settlement after, it's a pre-funded account. So you will only be able to purchase however much money that you actually have in your account. If you do place an order that exceeds this amount, the platform will not let it go through, like so. All right, it will show that you have insufficient funds to actually make this trade. So not to worry, the platform is smart enough to actually prevent this from happening. Another thing I'd like to bring your attention to is this I button on the top here. So this is actually the trading conditions on the specific product. It will show you that the commissions is indeed a flat $5 here. See more information on the instrument, you can actually toggle between the tabs here by going instrument. You can see that this stock is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. The minimum trade amount is $50. Okay, the tick size is 0.01. The collateral value here is at 50%. What does that actually mean? The beauty of having this multi-asset platform is that if you do not have sufficient cash what happens is you can utilize 50% of this instrument to place a margin trade. All right, so that's essentially what it means. So you have zero cash, you can actually use your stock as collateral to actually place a leverage trade using margin. And at the bottom here, you can see that the trading times for your stock exchange will be displayed here as well. So if it is a public holiday, it will show that there won't be any trading hours on that specific day. Okay, so once you're actually happy with the order, what you can do is then place your order. It would then another screen would then prompt you to confirm the order. So if you're happy with that, you can actually click on confirm. And what will happen is you will receive a notification on the top right for your order placed there. All right. So once your order is placed, you can actually go to the bottom here to view the order that you've placed. Until it's executed, you can always modify it or cancel it, or even add your take profit and stop loss orders here by clicking on these little boxes. All right. So if you want to cancel the order, you can go ahead and click here. Click cancel order. You will receive another notification to see that your order is canceled. Next up will be the product overview. So if any particular instrument that you select on the left here, you can see that product overview here actually syncs up to the instrument that you've selected. So for example, if I select on Tesla here, you'd see that this Tesla is actually listed on the Deutsche Börse. Okay, it's denominated in euro currency. What you can do is then scroll further down to read news on Tesla. And as you scroll further down, you see general information on Tesla. So we all know Tesla is a huge EV maker, and you can see the market cap and the number of employees that they actually have. Okay. One step further would be to click on the fundamentals on this tab here. You would then be able to see the financials on Tesla's performance over the past 4 years. All right. Next up, onto charts. Okay, so if you select chart here, I know this view might be a bit small, so you can actually click on full screen. Okay, by doing so. And one really interesting feature that we have is to be able to actually place an order on the chart here. So by selecting this little instrument here, of course, do take note that for stocks you can only buy, you can't sell what you don't have, so no short selling of stocks. So you can click on buy, and what will happen is this little line here comes out. You can select the quantity, and you can input the price here. Okay, and what happens is that line will go the price that you actually input. Alternatively, you can actually drag this line up and down, and as you can see in the middle, this percentage here would change according to the distance to what the current market is actually trading. All right. So if you're happy with that, you can simply click OK and confirm, and that would now be a working order as well. All right. So some other things that you have here would be the different chart types, the different indicators that you can add, as well as draw your own trend lines as well. All right. You can have up to a maximum of 4 charts by copying or creating a new chart entirely. That is really up to you. All right, so that's pretty much it for the charting function. Now I'd like to bring your attention below to the positions and orders. So for the orders, you've already seen that these are your working orders. So this is the Tesla trade that I placed earlier. You can choose to modify that at any point in time until it executes market. All right, so that's your working orders. So positions is basically the stocks that you currently hold. So this is essentially your portfolio. All right, you can see that there'll be the closing price. Your position open will be the price that you actually purchased at, and the P&L will be in its own denominated currency. And you can actually toggle between the different columns here by clicking on this wheel here. All right, you can totally customize that. To close a trade, very simply, you can click on this button and a close position ticket would appear. And then you can simply decide to close that and mark it or a limit order if you wish. Right? So that's pretty much it for the trading tab. Next, I'm going to jump actually to the, I'm going to skip the research tab and jump to the account tab. So just to take note that the account tab here would pretty much show you the performance on how your account is actually doing. So this is a great tool to have, especially when you're monitoring if you're a long-term investor or even a short-term investor. It would actually show you the trades that you've done, you know, the returns, right down to the actual instrument as well, if you click on your portfolio right here. So this is, you know, you can take your time to explore these different functions, but it is great in terms of keeping track on how your portfolio performance is going to be like. If you go over here to historic reports, this is where, as I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to generate reports on your account, all right, right down to the trade executions, you know, as well as CFD financing and even your Tomnix rollovers for your FX positions. Everything is available here. So there's something that I want to highlight to you as well. So if you're actively trading and you're very price sensitive and you want to actually subscribe to live pricing, you can actually go to this page here under others for subscriptions. So once you actually launch the subscription here, you can then select the exchanges that you wish to subscribe, you know, that you wish to have live pricing for. Now we're pretty much covered for the Boost platform. I will be showing you what the Build platform has to offer.
Hey, Andre, just a quick question on the market data piece that many of times a lot of people are asking, why do we charge for market data, and you know, what's the charges like? Because we see like $1 a month and stuff like that. So can we get it for free?
And when it comes to market data, it is not something that we as a company are earning on. It is what the exchange actually charges us for the data feeds that they're provided to us. So great question there. So while there are charges on the subscription for live pricing, we will actually rebate the live data subscription if you make 4 or more trades in the calendar month for all exchanges except Australia. So for ASX specifically, it's more than 6 trades. But the rest of the exchanges, if you do more than 4 trades, we will actually rebate the data subscription fee back to you.
So I do not need to worry. It will be just automatic being in my account probably after a month or so.
That's correct. It will magically appear into your account. But of course, our back office team will be the ones monitoring this. And once you are eligible for it, that amount will actually be credited back into your trading account.
Great, thanks.
All right, so now I'll be launching the Build platform. Okay, so upon launching up the Build platform, this is what you would see. So I know it looks a lot more different compared to the Boost platform. As I said, the Build is a lot simpler in its view. It looks a lot cleaner as well. So right off the bat, you can see that the 4 products that are actually offered are actually shown here already: stocks, bonds, ETF, funds. If you actually select on any of this, what it essentially means is it's a stock screener, pretty much. So if you click on stocks and US stocks, for example, you are essentially screening US stocks based on the filters that you add. So this is totally customizable through any of the different products at all, because, you know, even though I clicked on stocks, I can actually select all the different products here. So it's not to worry about what these different products up here on the top actually means. Like I said, they're essentially all stock screeners that you can actually customize as you go along. The big difference, okay, would be that in the Build platform here, you will be able to see that there are different trending themes and fund inspirations which are not available on the Boost platform. So by clicking on these trending themes here, you'll be able to see different categories of investments that our CGS research team has actually curated. So do take note that these are actually updated quarterly at this point in time. But please do have a look at the different categories that we have that might interest you. If you're interested in Chinese technology, you can actually go directly into this theme here and yeah, go and explore what are the different picks that our research team has actually come up with.
So Andre, for this it's very interesting to see, like, you created different sectors for us to look at. Does the system allow us to buy the whole basket of products, or do we need to initiate them by ourselves?
Good question. So no, the platform doesn't actually help you to purchase it as a basket. It will show you a list of what is essentially we are monitoring. I'm not allowed to give investment advice, but these are what our research team are actually monitoring and deem as a good purchase in that category. So no, you won't be able to purchase the whole basket. You have to individually buy them on your own. So how to actually do so? You can actually click on the instrument, okay, and then click on trade here to launch a trade ticket. So that's how you can actually purchase it. But yeah, it has to be a single product at a time.
Got it.
So that is in terms of I'd say the thematic portfolios. We do also have fund inspirations. So these are also curated by our research team. They are funds that that fit into these different categories. If they interest you, please feel free to go into them. As I said, this is exclusively for the Build platform and it's not in the Boost platform.
So Andre, I have a question here. At the end of the day, how can I look at my portfolio? Is it aligned with the Boost platform that you mentioned earlier? And how would would the numbers gel together?
Yes, a perfect question. I was actually just about to go into that next. So if you actually click on portfolio here, you'd be able to see that all the instruments that I have listed here are exactly the same as there is in Boost. So yes, it syncs because ultimately you still only have one account that has the exact same portfolio. But functionality wise, for example, this listed option position that I have here, I will not be able to close it in the Build platform. I would actually have to launch the Boost platform in order to actually close this position. But for any of the cash products, no issues at all closing the positions in this platform.
Sure. Understand.
So another difference is that in this portfolio tab here, at the bottom, you can see that what the Build platform does is it specifically segments the products in terms of the product class, in terms of the sectors, as well as the currency exposure. So this also is exclusive to Build platform only. You won't be able to actually see this in the Boost platform. So this is another interesting and might be a useful data set for investors as well. All right. So under the portfolio tab here, you can also toggle between the different tabs. So these current holdings, essentially your positions, all right, your current portfolio. Orders would be your working order. So as you can see, the earlier Tesla trade that I placed, it is also a working order here as well. All right. And last but not least, under the results tab here is essentially showing the performance of your portfolio. So by selecting on the results here, you can actually toggle this in terms of the time frame on the period that you actually wish to zoom into. All right. So as you can see, as I extended this, the account value and the returns have also changed accordingly. And as I pull it back even further, you will see that the numbers will also change accordingly. So that is another useful data set, for you to monitor your portfolios as well. And as you scroll further down, you'll be able to see the earnings in terms of breakdowns by the dollar value as well as the percentage as well. So it's extremely intuitive and versatile also in that sense. So I think that is pretty much it in terms of the build portfolio. Handing it back over to you, Ernest.
So thank you very much, Andre. So I think the platform demo was a very interesting one to understand what Build and Boost is, and a little more about what our new launch of ProsperUs is. ProsperUs, as I said earlier, is a DIY investment platform that we offer to millennials. This time around, we have 3 key features that we wanted to share with everyone: engagement, education, as well as experiences. On the engagement pieces, we definitely do have our formal approaches that you can call a hotline or even emails on your account-related information that you require. We definitely touch base with our clients or even our members via our own social media platforms like our Instagram, our LinkedIn, as well as our Telegram channels. Feel free to look at our Facebook and Instagram to look at what the latest updates that we have in terms of market update of how the ProsperUs team are actually doing. Sometimes you can see fun sites of the team members as well to get to know us better. The second piece of education is also that, we have key opinion leaders like our head of content, Tim Phillips. He writes almost on a daily basis covering Hong Kong, Singapore, and as well as US stocks. He'll be sharing with you on investment tips, what to buy or what not to buy, even what to do and what not to do as well at points of time. So it's important to see what are the good tips that Tim will share with us. We also have like Boon, who's our chief investment strategist, who pillars certain investment articles as well that I think is good knowledge for all of us as millennials to understand. At the end of the day, sometimes you might get to win Grab vouchers or a secret treat that we have when you participate in any of our contests and our quizzes. Last but not least, on the experience piece, one of the things that is very important to the ProsperUs Club, these experiences are really specially curated by our own ProsperUs team members before we allow our clients to enjoy these fun experiences that spans across dining, wellness, as well as lifestyle. So what's in store for everyone this time around is that since our launch last Tuesday, we have this Invest and Experience campaign that we're running. Stand a chance to receive up to 880 worth of commission rebates, as well as when you fund from 10,000 up to 25,000 and above, to enjoy curated lifestyle activities that we have curated for the ProsperUs Club members. So this time around, we have curated the list of experiences to suit our ProsperUs Club members that ranges from lifestyle to wellness and last but not least, dining activities. In the lifestyle component, we have the wood crafting as well as wheel throwing. We partner with Tara and Amber to give you that wheel throwing experience. On the wellness component, we have flotation therapy that is very therapeutic. I bet many of you guys have not tried this. So join us and actually try this. Or also even sweat it out at the very own Ground Zero. And last but not least, enjoy the afternoon tea or an area martini tasting at the very famous Atlas Bar. We have some upcoming webinars that our very own head of content, also as known as content composer, Tim Phillips, that will be sharing with you in the next 2-3 weeks. Next week, we have the spilling the tea on the US markets, as well as the subsequent weeks, we have the dispelling of US market moves. So sign up for the webinars and we'll see you there. Okay, so we've come to the last part of the presentation. Do follow us on our social media sites, on our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Scan the QR code on the left. Also, on the right, we have our ProsperUs website. Stay tuned to our ProsperUs website to get the latest updates in terms of content, as well as the latest promotions. So what are you waiting for?
Come and prosper with us.